What is up, guys? It's Rahul TV, Team R for you. Well, we're back again in the garage, and what we're doing this time around is I've got a 2009 Toyota Corolla Verso diesel. Yep, it's a 2-litre diesel, and I'm going to replace the starter motor. Not for the faint-hearted, this one. It's slightly tricky, right? Slightly tricky starter motor. I mean, if all the bolts come off nice and easy, then, and if you've done it before in the past, it shouldn't be that hard. But if you're attempting it for the first time, I would recommend you take it nice and easy, because you can get frustrated on this one. A bit like the Fiat Doblo starter motor, it's buried a little bit on the front. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the starter motor, and yeah, that's all we're doing. Yeah, let's go. Okay, guys. First things first, we need to take the battery off. If the stereo is coded, make sure you tell the customer. Ask the customer, does he know the code and things like that. In any case, the battery needs to come off. So it's tough. If they haven't got the code, they haven't got the code. If they've got the code, happy days. Right, we're going to take the battery off. Battery bracket off. So basically what we need to do is take the leads off. 10mm here, 10mm here. Take that 10mm nut off. There's one, if you follow it, directly there. So which means we have to take this cover off. Right, to take this cover off, dead easy. These little plastic, push-on clips. All you do is just flick it up. Try to demonstrate if I can find a screwdriver. So all we do is just flick it up. Yeah, flick it up, and then that comes out like that. You got a couple all over the show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There should be another one there. 6. Take them off. This panel should come off, and then happy days. That's it. We can take the battery off. Right, guys, now that I've got all the battery, everything off, you can see there, we've got enough space there. The starter lives in there, okay? As you can just make it out, that there is the starter motor. You can see it more clearly from the bottom, but the thing is, we need to take a bolt off from the top. So what we need to do is, we need to take that bolt off here. I think that's a 17 or a 19 millibolt. Take that off, yep. Then we're going to send the car up, and we'll tackle it from the bottom. Alright, guys, that bolt there, that's finger tight now, as you can see there. Right, no two ways about it, that was really tight. I had to get 2 spanners on that. One spanner with the ring end on there, and the other one as a death spanner, like a lock spanner, and crack it off that way. Strictly speaking, you will have to take all this off, all the pipe, the intercooler pipe, everything off. That turns out to be a big, massive job. So what you can do, if you can just crack it off, because that's the only thing you need to take off from the top, you see. Once we've took that one off, the bottom should be, plain sailing, should be easier. So, like I mentioned, this was really tight. I know it looked like I just cracked it off, but believe you me, that was really tight. So, there we have it. Top bolt is off. It doesn't need to come out, as you can see, because of that pipe, it's stuck there. But that's off the starter and everything. We can just leave it there, not going anywhere. And then you know where the bolt is, you won't lose the bolt, that can stay there. Happy days. Let's go up. If you are doing it on the floor, guys, make sure you jack it up, put some axle stands underneath it, put a block on the back because the front end's going to be raised up, and make sure it's safe. The last thing you want is the car dropping on you. We don't want any of that. We want to fix the car, get the car back on the road, and happy days. Let's go. Yeah, so I'm going to send it up now because I've got the ramp. I'm going to send it up on the ramp, and yeah, make sure it doesn't fall on my head as well. Right, guys, after you've taken off the stupid cover of death, right, I call it the stupid cover of death because absolute stupid cover, right? So basically there's a cover underneath here. You take all that off, take the side panel off as well. You don't need to really take the passenger side off if you're in the UK. You need to take the driver's side off. So I've took this side off and I've just tied it up there out of the way. Got my nerves, right? So right, guys, I've cracked that 17 millibolt, but the thing is, it's coming off so slow and it's really tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle it. There's 2 ways to do it. Either you take the subframe cross member off, this one here, right? I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pipe off here, right? So what we're going to do is, first things first, we're going to take it off here, right? Jubilee clip, 10mm, take that off. There's a bolt right there, 14mm bolt, take that off. And that should be, unless there's another bolt on this side, that should be that, yeah. One bolt on there. There might be another bolt on the top, but let's first off take this off, take that bolt off, and see where it leads to. Right guys, I've took this pipe off, took them little 2 pipes off there. As you can see, I've marked one. Right, marked one there. So took that bolt off, 14mm bolt off. That switch is off there. We need the mission is to take this pipe off. I know it's got nothing to do with the starter motor, but trust me, believe me, we take that off, the whole job becomes easy. So as you can see now, that's freestyling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send it down and see where it's attached to on the top, and then we'll go from there. Right guys, the pipe is buried down there. As you can just make it out there. Try to point the light out there. It's just down there. So what we need to do is we need to take this expansion bottle off. Dead easy. One bolt there, one there. Take these pipes off, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, as you can see now, I've took the expansion bottle off. You could take the expansion bottle off while after you've taken that bolt off. Just take the expansion bottle off to save you, messing about. So there, that Jubilee clip there, right there, as you can just make it out there. We need to take that off. I've already slackened it, so now what I need to do now is, can you see this pipe here? This little pipe. I've disconnected it on that side. Obviously we need to disconnect it from the engine side as well, because the last thing you want is that snapping off anything. Anyway, just flick that off. Just take that off. There we go. Right, so what we do now, we'll send it down, and if we pull that pipe from the bottom, that should come straight off. The big pipe, that is. Right, let's go, let's do it. Alright guys, as you can see there, to get this Jubilee clip off, obviously you can't get a screwdriver or anything in there, right? So this is the contraction that you have to have. You need a ratchet with a 10mm small socket. That's what you need. If you don't have that, it'll be very hard for you guys to take that off. You need a ratchet, 10mm, and all we do now is just tighten that up. That Jubilee clip there. Right guys, there's the pipe and everything. We just gave it a little pull, and then that's it. That comes off. Now as you can see, the starter motor's right there. I can get to that no problem. Alright guys, the next job we're going to do is to make our life a lot easier is we take this bolt off. I've already cracked them, as you can see. I'm not going to show you how to crack them. Basically just give it some. These two there on the side, 10mm, you'll see the wire going this way. Take them two 10mm off, one there and another one. So now as you can see, the wiring loop, that was the light, just fell down. Right, the wiring loom is off. All we do now, we just take it off the starter motor on the top there. Take that off, that whole complete wiring loom comes out the way. Right guys, the wiring loom is out totally off. I've took it off the starter motor there, just a little push on little switch, that comes off. Next thing I would do is take the live feed off the starter. This one here, the main wire that goes on the starter motor, take that off. It's held on mine it's a 12mm, it could be a 13mm nut on yours, it could be a 10mm nut, it depends who's put it on. Right, so that's off, as you can see there, totally moving out the way. And now we can just go ahead, I've already cracked it, take that bolt off, the 17mm, and that starter should just fly out. Right guys, all the bolts are off. That should, hopefully, with a little bit of persuasion, and there we have it. Starter motor off. Obviously, if I was using two hands, obviously I would get it off a bit easier, because I had to move things off out of the way and obviously get the starter out. I had the camera in the hand. There we go. Let's go and fit the new one. Okay guys, there's the new starter motor. When I say new, this guy is not gone for a new one, he's just reconditioned it. He's took it to a manufacturing place, they've reconditioned it for him, they've changed all the brushes, everything inside it, and basically that's all they've done. I told him to put a new one on, but obviously he's gone for a second hand, well, a reconditioned one. So anyway guys, let's go and fit it. Alright guys, as you can see there, I've got the starter motor on there. I've just put that wire on so it holds the top half of the starter. Right, bottom bolt is on, finger tight. Starter's got a bit of movement. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to send it down, put the top bolt on, and then we'll go from there, because you don't want to go tightening this one up, then the top one doesn't line up properly. Right, so hand tight, finger tight, and then what we'll do is we'll send it down, put the top one on. Right guys, I've just sent it down. As you can see, I've sent it down. The bolt is there. Remember that bolt we couldn't take out totally, right? You don't need to take it out totally. So now what we do is just screw that into it. What you might need to do is just give the starter a little movement from this side and screw the bolt in from the other side. Okay, obviously you need 2 hands to do that. So I'm going to put the camera down and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, I've tightened that bolt up totally tight because we know we've got the bottom one on. So what I'm going to do now is send it up again, and what we're going to do is we're going to tighten the bottom one up, put the wiring plugs on, put all the wires, everything back on, put that big pipe, send that up, put that pipe on onto the inlet manifold, the throttle housing, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, as you can see, the starter motor's back on. I've put that one back on, that 12 milli. That's it, that's on as well. What I'm going to do now is, remember these wires, 2 10 millis on this side, like that, 2 10 millis there, and the wiring loom, the plug goes on the starter motor up there like that, and that 14 milli here, the bracket. Happy days. Let's just go ahead and fit these, and that's it. Okay guys, everything is on underneath now. I've put the big pipe back on. All you have to do is just push it onto the, you'll see it, the rubber hose. These are back on, remember them two? That one and that one, I marked it, remember, they're back on. Put little cable ties around them. That switch is back on. The starter bolt is back on. Them 2 10 millis, they're back on. Everything is on, besides the covers. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put the covers on just yet. I'm going to finish everything up off on the top, then start it up. If everything's okay, then put the covers back on. Right, now that the turbo pipe, the intercooler pipe is tight, everything's done. Oh, don't forget this small one. Put that one, bang that back on, easily forgettable. That goes back on, clip goes back on as well. Okay, that clips on. What we do is put the expansion bottle back on, and then we'll go to this side. Okay guys, now we've got the expansion bottle back on. It's dead easy, in reverse order. 2 little 10 milli bolts as you took off, and the 3 pipes. Make sure you re-top it up with that coolant, antifreeze water. Right, what we do now is we're going to put the battery tray back on, put the battery on, and that's it. The job done. But the thing is, obviously the bottom covers are still off, but besides the starter's concerned, job done. Right guys, everything is done on this Toyota. Let's get inside it. Put the battery on, battery tray back on, everything is on. The covers, I've put the covers back on as well. Let's get inside it and let's start it up. Hopefully it starts up. Let's go. There we go, happy days, job done. Right, all I'm going to say is I hope this helps you guys out. If you're attempting the starter motor, it's not the hardest in the world, but it's not the easiest as well, right? Mid-range. Like I said, just take your time. Once you've got that big pipe out of the way and the expansion bottle out of the way, it's pretty much simple after that. Anyway guys, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell button for me. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'll see you guys soon. Get me out of